What's up, pirates? Wraith and Jim here today with AwakenedTCG. And as you guys can see by what is on the screen here, today we're going to be going over all the new OP06 leaders that have finally been revealed. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
All right, guys. First up, we've got Yamato. Yamato, we went over in a previous video. Just we were concerned for the future of this game, but honestly, out of these leaders, I think Yamato is the only one that looks like kind of overtuned. But let's get into her effect. So, Yamato is going to be your typical 4 life, 5,000 power leader. She is going to be green and yellow with the double attack keyword on the leader, and it's going to be activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 3 or less life, you can attach up to 2 Rusted Dawn to one of your characters.
Yeah, I mean that seems good on its own. Like you said, we have talked about this in another video. Just having double attack as a base keyword on this card already makes it pretty insane. You're doing double the work for one swing if it hits, and you can do that once every attacking turn, which is huge. And then not to mention there's no 6 life leader, so any leader in the game, if once you get hit once, this effect of attaching 2 Rested Dawn onto a character goes live instantly.
Yep, it's basically once you hit once, it's just Luffy effect on steroids, like we said before, because it's double the value, obviously, because it's 1 to 2. But it is only on characters. You do have to remember that. But honestly, if you're playing like Rush NL and stuff, you really don't care. You're just like playing him on curve and swing 9. This leader is going to be absolutely bonkers. Yellow and green obviously have the Wano synergy going for it. You can play Momonosuke and search the yellow and the green Wano cards. And I'm sure you guys have seen, we'll cover it in the future, but the yellow cards that have been revealed for Wano are absolutely insane. Multiple 6Ks that you can just get off trigger for free if your opponent has 3 or less life, which they will.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
100%. Yeah, this leader is definitely going to be higher up on the tier list, just on paper for now. Green and yellow. Obviously, we had an Arlong leader with the same colors, which didn't go too well for him. But I feel like with this effect in play and the new yellow Wano cards, like you're saying, this leader has the potential to definitely be a tier 1 deck.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, like, this is the type of power you need to see from a dual color 4 life leader with green and yellow as its colors, because the only good dual life leaders in the game are usually ones with insane effects. So
Yeah.
we do think this card's going to be busted, but we will have to see how the meta goes, because there is going to be a massive meta shakeup come OP06. And let's get into the next card here. We've got Vinsmoke Reiju, Sanji's sister. She is going to be a blue and purple 4 life 5,000 power leader. And she is going to have the Vinsmoke family and Germa 66 keywords. And during your turn, once per turn, whenever one of your Dawn cards is returned to your Dawn deck, you're just going to draw 1 card. No specifications if you have X amount of cards in your hand. No, it's just whenever you return a Dawn to the Dawn deck, you're going to draw a card. So with Queen, you play Queen, you draw 3. Absolutely disgusting effect that is going to pair amazing with purple. And blue's going to add a little bit of added control value, I think, with stuff like Red Rock. But I think this leader is going to be disgusting. It's going to have like some Whitebeard hands with like 13 cards in hand or something crazy like that. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, a good thing to know also, it has the keyword once per turn, so you can only do this once per turn, so you're not going and grabbing too many cards. But the only issue I see with this is, decks with big hands already suffer in OP05 because with the release of ST10, which you will probably see in another video going over that, you get the 4-drop purple blocker law, which at 7 cards or more, you Dawn -1, your opponent trashes 2. So you choose 2 random cards and they trash it, right? We already had the E-Show, but now we have a card that's going to be more widely used. And so cards like that definitely shine when it comes to decks that, want to have, big hand sizes. And so, hopefully the support for, these keywords here show up big.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of Whitebeard in OP05, and I don't want to say it's because of that law card, but it definitely suffers 100%. That card is basically always online when you play against Whitebeard decks, and if this leader is going to have a lot of Whitebeard hands, then you're going to be running into that a lot. But any other matchup that's not purple, I think this leader is going to be pretty scary, especially with the new Germa support. Anyways, let's go to our next leader, another purple leader. It's going to be another Uta, because obviously we all wanted more Uta. We can't get enough.
Mm-hmm.
But this Uta is going to be another 4-life, 5,000 power leader with red and purple as its colors, like the ultimate starter deck. It's going to have the film type, and when attacking, you can trash one film type card from your hand, and then you can give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power until the end of the turn, and then add up to one Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. So basically, this is just going to give minus 2,000 power so you can swing into characters easier, and also ramp you one at the cost of trashing one card. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I think this leader is pretty strong. I think attaching not free, you got to trash a card, but free ramp onto a leader is very strong. Look at Luffy. Luffy's a bit different. You do get a card to hand technically by taking your life, and this one's trashing a card from hand. And also it is not active, it's rested. But this is going to allow you just to go turbo. If you play any other effects that ramp Dawn, you can get up to your higher Dawn counts really quickly. But you're going to definitely need to play the film archetype, obviously, because you're going to need those cards to even use this effect in hand. So I'd assume you're going to play cards like the 8-cost Douglas Bullet from the starter deck. You can ramp up to the cards like that. You'll play 4-cost Uta. You'll play Gordon's, one-ofs. Probably a lot of like Jet Pistol, Fire Fist, a lot of control-y type stuff, maybe, with the minus 2,000 power every turn. That would be very strong. This leader's a bit weird, so we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, so you get the minus 2,000 power, which is a great effect. That's like, just a nice little Otama by trashing a card. But the issue is you kind of want to ramp early to get the full effect, right? You want to be able to, minus 2,000 power on one of their characters, swing at it, and you get your ramp in a perfect world. But if you're going first, at 3 Dawn, the first turn you can attack. More often than not, your opponent's not even going to have anything up on the board, and mind you, that has to be rested for you to even make use of the minus 2,000 power. So at that point, you're just trashing a card to ramp one. So we're going to have to see some crazy combos with this colorway that are going to warrant the early ramp. If not late game, obviously the ramp won't matter. The minus 2,000 will be nice. Maybe you have a dead card in hand, you can minus 2,000 clear something easier. But at the end of the day, I feel like a card like this really needs to make use of that ramp early because it's there for a reason. So we'll see.
Yeah, going first, it may not be as good because at most they'll have like a 1-cost searcher on board or something, or like a 2-cost blocker or something like that. But going second, if they played like a 3-5 on their 3 Dawn turn, so you have like a Vista in hand or any low-cost KO effect, you can just swing with this leader, ramp 1 to 5, and then just like play Vista and KO their 3-5
vanilla.
Yeah,
that is true.
So it definitely has uses, and obviously it has the red color, so red isn't as amazing in OP05, and we'll see how good it is in OP06, but it also has purple, which is now the new king of OP05, so I think with 2 great colors, this leader might work out and be pretty decent.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to wait and see for that.
Yep. And next up, we've got Hordy Jones, or Hordy Jones, however you would like to pronounce it. It is going to be our one of 2 monocolor leaders for this set. And he is going to be a green leader with 5 life and 5,000 power. He's going to be a Fishman and a new Fishman Pirates. And his effect is just going to be activate main. You can rest your leader. So you'll be not be able to attack with him that turn that you do this. And then you just rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost 3 or less. Or you can rest one of their Dawn. So if they're a type of deck that likes to use counter events, you can basically make it so they can't do that. I don't know if you would ever do this, but it's there for you to do it if you wanted to. And then during this turn, you can not add life cards to your hand through your own effects. This is probably the main reason why you're doing this. I think the new Fishman pirate support is going to have a lot of effects that take your own life. And you're gonna need to use this effect to actually not screw yourself over with those cards.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the resting, the 3 cost or below does seem pretty decent going into Law, going into Zoro, where they like to play small weenie bodies. So that off rip is very decent. And then obviously, even decks like Zoro or Law will love to leave one Dawn open to, hold on to their one Rad Beam or their one guard point. And so obviously, yeah, you can shut that down at times, but for the most part, I'm excited to see what cards this archetype is gonna get that warrants that effect of not being able to add life cards to your hand with your effects.
Yeah, this is the type of leader that is 100% going to be reliant on its support, so it's going to be really hard to judge right now, just because the leader is so new and weird, especially for green, that it's kind of impossible to rate at the moment. But I could see this leader being good.
Yeah.
Another thing to note, though, you do need to rest the leader, so although you can easily rest these low-cost bodies against Law and Zoro early, your leader's actually not going to be able to attack into them afterwards, so you're going to need a board to even make use of that. So,
Yeah,
not amazing, but we're going to see if this effect is worth it. Anyways, let's go up to our next leader that got revealed today. Is going to be Gecko Moria. Let's go. I've been waiting for this leader. I have a lot of friends that are Gecko Moria stans, and as am I. He's the corniest character in the verse, but that's why he's the GOAT. Anyway, let's get into the effect. He is going to be a mono black leader. Very interesting for a 7 Warlords leader, but he's going to be 5 life, 5,000 power, with 7 Warlords of the Sea and Thriller Bark Pirates. And he's going to have kind of a reverse Doflamingo effect where you can attach 1 Dawn, and when attacking, you can tap 2 Dawn and discard 1 from your hand. Then you're going to put the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash, and then you can play 1 Thriller Bark Pirates character with a cost of 4 or less from your trash out onto the board. And this is active, this is not rested. So, pretty much you're attaching 1 and swinging 6, and then you're paying 2 to play a 4. Because if you have the 4 cost in your hand that you want to play on the board, you can have that one be the one that you discard into your trash, and then just play it from your trash for 2. So, it is a discard, and you could think of it like a discard, but it's also not a discard at the same time, because you're kind of just playing that card. So, very interesting. Another leader that's kind of going to depend on the support.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really good, and it's a good thing to know as well. It's you're trashing the top 2 cards as well, and so eventually you're gonna get to a point where you already have cards that you want to play in your trash. So if you ever have a dead card, you can just go ahead and throw away the dead card. You already have something to play in your trash. So obviously that part is very useful. I would have loved to see it be Dawn times 2, rest 1 like the Flamingo, but maybe they play tested it and thought it was too much, or maybe they just wanted to go a different route and make it different. But yeah, I mean, just like Hordy Jones, we're gonna have to wait and see for the support and see how useful this leader will actually be.
Yeah, and let's just say the art on all of these leaders is fantastic. It has the anime art style, but it's not these random anime screen grabs that they've been doing for the last few sets. These ones, I think, have actually been specifically drawn for these cards, and if they haven't, they picked great screenshots because these cards look amazing for the base art.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So, and they haven't revealed the alt arts yet, correct?
no, they haven't.
Okay,
Looking
yeah,
forward to those, but I don't think we're gonna get the big heads. I think that was just a thing for the first anniversary. But if we do, I would not complain.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what they come up with.
Yep. Next up and last up, we've got Perona. Perona is going to be a green and black leader, very interesting, and 4 life, 5,000 power with the Thriller Bark Pirates type. And her effect is just going to be activate main once per turn. You can do one of these 2 effects. You can either rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 4 or less, just for free, or you can give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during this turn. So one of these is definitely better than the other. I think the rest a 4 or less is a lot stronger than just giving -1. Isho gives -1 by just attaching one card, and he is the same color combo, so obviously you're going to be playing this leader mostly for the rest of 4 or less, and not to mention this leader is black, so this is rest however many or less based on how much cost reduction you'll be doing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you compare it to Isho, where yeah, you attach one Dawn, and it rests everything on, or it costs -1 to everything, to all characters on the board. But the interesting thing to note is that since this leader has the rest up to 1 4 cost or less, it can get very good value early on. And while it still has that option to, if you want to play maybe let's say a Sakazuki, you can choose to use the -1 cost effect to clear a bigger body. So I feel like just that versatility is gonna make this leader way better than what Isho can currently do. As we all know, is not the greatest leader, kind of in the middle of the pack, lower middle of the new leaders of OP04. But yeah, no, I think this colorway can definitely work, and this might be the leader to make it.
Yeah, very interesting now that I think about it, because a lot of the time early game, your opponent's always going to take the first swing at life. This leader early, actually, if they play a character, never needs to swing at life. You don't need to give them cards. You can just force them to trash cards from their hand if they want to save their characters. So, first of all, against Law, this card is going to be insane. This card is going to crush Law. Absolutely destroy that deck. But I think it's just a super strong leader effect. The fact that it is versatile, you can do one or the other based on what you need, and it is costless. You can just do this. Is going to be really strong. I still don't know about the color combo. Isho, we thought it was going to be good with Isho, but it proved not to be as great. So we'll see with Perona. Maybe she can make it work.
I think a good thing to take into account as well is you rest up to a 4 or less. So let's say you go Kuzan, and then now whatever your opponent plays and you swing your Kuzan, that's -4. You can now rest an 8 cost.
Exactly.
For free. And then on top of that, since the Kuzan swing was free because you played him last turn, your leader ability was free because obviously you can activate it once per turn for free. Now you got your let's say it's an 8 cost. You got your 8 cost rested, basically for free. Your opponent's 8 cost rested for free, and now you can just play an X Drake and kill it. So I feel like what held Isho back mainly was just there was so much that you needed to do to get a KO, and like slowly I think with this leader and what it can be capable of, it's going to be a lot easier to get your rested KOs off with green than what Isho can do right now. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's a great point. The ability just to always make sure you have a character that's rested to actually use your on KO or on play KO rested character effects. That's probably going to make this actually work. Definitely one of the leaders I'm looking most forward to.
All right, Pirates, thank you guys so much for staying until the end of this video. I hope it was very informative, and I hope we made it nice and clear for you guys, to take a look at what the leaders are going to look like, take a look at the effects, and just, kind of enjoyed our dialogue as we kind of explained what they do and how they could potentially work for all the new leaders. With that being said, you guys like this video, it means so much to us. Subscribe to our channel. We're so close to that 1,000 mark where we're going to be doing a huge giveaway, so make sure to subscribe right now and comment down below what your favorite OP06 leader is so far, and you might change your mind. Who knows? We'll see what they end up being like in the meta. But you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.